Welcome to the patch 25.06 patch note rundown by your favorite good attitude jungler who is also in Masters. Thank you, I am Barmelian, and we're going to go over this really quick and decide if we like it or not. Spoilers, we probably won't. Okay, patch 25.06 detected. Please read for more details, okay? We're feeling very robotic today. In this week's patch, we've got quite a few changes on the gameplay side of things. We've got more balance changes and system tuning coming your way. We're pushing champion bounty suppression the hardest it's been pushed, attempting to fully remove them when your team is even moderately behind as early as 6 minutes into the game. Yes! We'll see more details about that. We're also alleviating the anti-lane swap minion penalties introduced last patch. In even more news, Naafiri's mid-scope debuts this patch. And her W and R have changed places. Ooh, I'm excited to see that. She can go untarget. She can go untargetable now. They did not learn their lesson with Akali, I swear to God. Otherwise, we've got significant updates to Gwen and Singe, plus another 24 smaller balance changes as usual. Outside of gameplay, we've also got quite a lot of other things going on, lots of skins. We're launching an update to Vanguard, so now you'll get LP back when a cheater lost you a game, and your client will fail to launch 2 times more frequently than before. We've got our new champion mastery icons going out, expect a few small changes on the way, and the return of your shop, another round of Battle Academia skins, and a big update to the Mythic Essence shop. Woo! More money to spend. Make sure to read all the notes for more details. Absolutely. Who's ready to spend more money on League of Legends? Me! Just kidding. We see here little spoilers. I'm excited. So let's begin. Vanguard LP refunds and new ban notification. So just like Valorant, we see the screen. Cheaters suck. And encountering one in-game has been widely quantified as scientists as a 1-star experience. While it's satisfying to see cheaters get banned, playing against one could still leave an innocent player with a defeat in their match history and a bad taste in their mouth. So starting with 25.06.15, we'll be offering a remedy for the former. And if Vanguard determines that any player lost a ranked game due to an active cheater, we'll be refunding the LP lost as a result of the game once the cheater is suspended. I mean, thank you. I don't understand how it ever went through otherwise, but sure, I'll take it. I've seen one cheater since Vanguard got implemented. How long has Vanguard been implemented, you might ask? Has it been 6 months? Has it been a year? Wasn't it supposed to stop all cheaters in their tracks? I would love to see data on the rate of cheaters and if they're catching them. But of course, how would they know? They only know positives, so what do I know? Anyway, LP refunded. A cheater was detected. Cool. When a refund happens, you'll receive a notification immediately telling you when the match occurred, how much LP you've been credited, and identifying your updated rank in beautiful, bold Beaufort lettering. That's kind of cute. We won't be removing LP from those that inadvertently won with a cheater on their team, only restoring it to those that suffered a loss. However, any account that's found intentionally and repeatedly queuing with cheaters, also known as hitchhiking or bussying, will be banned right alongside them. Wonderful. Okay, so actually, this is a nice change. I didn't understand. I thought that this was just saying that if there's a cheater in your game, you're just gonna get the LP canceled, which, duh. But this is not saying that. This is saying that if they detect a cheater in the past who stole LP from you, you're getting an LP refund, which is a good change. So I reclaim my statement, and this is a good change. All right. Also in this patch, we're introducing our second favorite notification, reporter feedback. The Vanguard team heavily utilizes in-game reports to best direct their attention for any player needing a more loving review. So to keep that loop as accurate as possible, it's important that you know when your accusations are right on the money. And it doesn't hurt to know the exact moment a cheater's account got beamed into the heliosphere. Redundant, but nice. Sure. Champion Mastery. In this patch, we're releasing our new Champion Mastery icons. We've made these updates based on requests from all of you to bring the emotes we introduced last year more in line with their previous versions, while still giving them a fresh new look. As a heads up, we're still making some final tweaks to the color, texture, and audio of some of the emotes based on PvE feedback. They listened to that? Since when? So expect those to come through next patch. For now, though, enjoy showing off your hard-earned mastery in style. Cool. It's not showing me pictures, so I can't judge. Yay. Your shop will be returning. It'll be here for 2 patches. Wonderful. Thank you for giving me back something that I already had and never expected to get taken from me. You're so sweet. Wonderful. So these are good systems update. I like the cheater thing. The mastery thing I don't care about. And your shop, I mean, why'd they even take it from me in the first place? Like, stop being greedy. For 2 seconds challenge. Is it possible? Probably not. Champion changes. We've got Caitlyn. W headshot damage and R damage decrease. Caitlyn is looking to be quite strong in the moment. Okay, sure. Much of which is due to the amount of guaranteed damage within her kit. In order to level the playing field, we're looking to tone down some of her point-and-click damage this patch, so landing those Qs and Es will be more important if you want to go for the takedown. Alright, so W headshot damage increased is down 5% at all ranks, and 10% bonus AT. This is a significant nerf. Wow. Wow, that's a lot of damage. And our ace in the hole damage 300 to 700 plus 100 bonus AT to 300 to 650 plus 100%. This is not a big change. This is irrelevant. The R change is largely irrelevant. I can't remember the last time. First of all, I can't remember the last time an ADC got to level 18 or level 16 to get this level 3 ult. And second of all, I can't remember the last time Caitlyn ulted me and I lived on less than 25 health and I was like, ha 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 ha. So I don't think this 25 damage is going to change. So, okay. I don't personally think Caitlyn is OP. I happen to think Caitlyn is extremely annoying and awful to play against, especially when she's paired with any mage or Karma. So I love to see her nerfed. I hate playing against her. Corki, this champion's OP. Corki's a little overbearing at higher skill brackets in the bot lane. Oh, so we're bringing down a little of his early bullying power. He already falls off a cliff late game. Really? So we're skewing these nerfs toward the early game. Base armor down 3. I guess. I think I always consider Corki like a 2 and 3 item champion. And honestly, when he gets to 2-3 items, I feel like the game is over. And if he gets to 4 items, you know what I mean? I feel like the game is over. So, I mean, I guess he falls off compared to like hyper scaling 80 carries, but I don't know. He feels good to me at like the 30-minute mark still. Like, sure, he's not as good as Jinx Lulu, but he still feels good. Darius, this is my king. Darius has skyrocketed as the best jungler to play with his new move speed build. And if you haven't watched my video about it, you should go watch it right now. That creates reliable ganks. Since we don't want to nerf top lane Darius while hitting his jungle performance, we've got 12 separate lines that are mathematically proven to be equivalent. Oh, okay, they're just hitting the jungle modification. So passive hemorrhage monster damage modifier is 300 to 200%. This is a big nerf. I will love to hop into a game and see how you can clear. This is, you know, a 33% decrease, which is pretty serious. And I expect his cleared to be better or worse now, but like more in line with other champions. This will not, depending on his clear speed, will not hurt him that much. Right now, Darius is full clearing easily with no brain. I'm doing this with no practice, not min-maxing at 3 minutes and 10 seconds, okay? I have done it in a practice tool in 3 minutes, 5 seconds. I think this champion is crazy because of that. And if this nerf brings him to like 315, 320, he'll still be pretty strong. Not as strong, but he'll still be pretty strong because a lot of what makes Darius strong is his ability to just run down certain junglers. He's super good into a lot of the champions in the meta, and he will remain good into those champions. But his early advantage will be worsened, so he won't just be like a blindable pick. Draven. This champion is good. Draven has been making the Noxus season his, and it's been a bit painful for those unfortunate enough to go up against him. We think his damage is in a good place, but his snowballing in higher skill brackets is getting out of hand. So we're looking to remove one of the more niche mechanics within his passive. Draven no longer gains 2 bonus adoration stacks for every 6 kills. What? What? This, I never even knew this was a thing. Wait. What? Is this minion kills? Is this like champion kills? Like, I don't know. Cool. This doesn't do anything. Draven is still Draven. Ezreal, armor growth decrease. Ezreal has been high presence and overperforming in general recently. He's pretty hard to catch, and his builds often involve building decent amounts of HP or other defensive stats. True. Making him both hard to lock down and take down. This patch, we're lowering his scaling armor, so HP efficient purchases are less efficient on him to make him more vulnerable. This is a cool change. I like that. I do think champions like Ezreal should be extremely punishable if they're caught out. I also think their damage output should be extremely high, and they should be extremely difficult to catch out. So it's a good balance change. Fiora is at an all-time historic low in terms of play rate, and is specifically performing much worse in lower skill brackets than she used to. One notable sadness for her is that she's pretty much required to buy Ravenous Hydra, so she can't rely solely on her ability to clear waves. As she can. Okay, we'd like to open up how often she can use her abilities, so we're dropping Q's mana cost substantially. Mana cost 20 to 40 to 20 at all ranks. Wow. So, I play a decent amount of top lane off stream. Fiora is one of my favorite top laners. I like playing like Fiora and Camille. Fiora getting the mana change is nice. I have tried different Fiora builds where I've tried a Mana Moon build. I have tried going Essence Reaver. I've tried going what's the Mana Rune, the blue one, whatever it's called. And all of those feel really, really good to offset your Q. You could also opt to not go those things, but what will happen is you'll go like if you're spamming your abilities to push a side wave pretty easily, in fact. And it doesn't feel so good. So this is like really, really good. It's halving the mana cost which is really good. Cool. Garen, this champion's OP. Garen is crowding out a lot of other top laners and deals a shocking amount of mid-game damage with his crit builds, leading to a sort of tanky assassin play pattern. We like to reduce how much burst damage Garen is dealing by weakening his crit binding, which won't nerf his more balanced Juggernaut builds. Damage on crit strikes 175 to 150. This is kind of a lot of damage. It's not a ton of damage, but it's kind of a lot. Garen is really annoying. Obviously, we've all been one-shot by Garen. This champion just flashes on you, presses Q, and you're like, oh, it's fine. It's just Garen, and then you're dead. Yeah, Garen is really, really annoying in a lot of scenarios, and this will be nice. I do think that Garen would be a wonderfully balanced champion if he didn't one-shot everyone. Sure, let him be a bruiser for all I care. Gwen, this champion has dominant. I love this champion. This champion's so fun to play in the jungle. I've heard that they're kind of mid-scoping her out of the jungle because she is OP. Understandably, so let's see what they do. Gwen was originally intended to be a lightly scaling AP fighter, and her kit's design and strengths reflect that. Actually, she's an extremely high AP scaling fighter currently, and her builds almost always go death cap second, and if not second, they go at third because of her AP ratios. So we'll see. However, over time, she shifted towards late game scaling, and she's been closer in power curve shape to a hyperscaler like Kayle as opposed to a lightly scaling fighter like Fiora. We believe that the best version of Gwen is one where her Q stacking gameplay and E-dash are actually powerful and fun tools to work with in the laning phase, and potentially even in the jungle. But today, she tends to play to scale and wins teamfights with only needlework casts. True, we want players to be able to take over games as Gwen, but by using her entire kit rather than farming up a bunch of gold and throwing ultimate needles. Okay, so base stats, her health is down a good amount, and her base health is up, but her health growth is down by 15. So she got 30 health, but her health growth is down 15. So starting at level 4, you're going to be squishier than normal. That's interesting. And then her passive damage is 1% plus 0.6% of target's HP to 1% plus 0.55%. So her AP ratio is down, and the damage to monsters modifier is also down. Okay, this will make her clear worse. She had a pretty good clear. So her AP scaling is worse, but the thing that will affect her first clear is the 5 damage. That is a little sad. Q snip snip final snip damage is up by 10 at all ranks. And the maximum damage is therefore up by 10 at all ranks. Okay, okay. Sure. W. Bonus resistances are nerfed overall, but you max this last, so it's better early, and then like gets a little awkward when you get a lot of AP. What? How are they buffing her? This is a nerf. This is a nerf. This is a nerf. When are they buffing her? E. Cooldown is down 1 second. Oh, down a lot of seconds. Oh my god, down to 8. That's crazy. Cooldown refund 50%. Oh wow. So that means her cooldown is going to be 4 seconds, but the buff duration is much longer than 4 seconds, so that's a little weird. Okay, that's gonna feel like Fiora. I see what they're saying, because before it was 11 second, and then you got 65% back, which put the cooldown at about like 4 seconds. Wait. Because, yeah, what? This is just the same? Except it's better early. Okay. It's the same at max level, but it's better early because now your E is 6 seconds compared to 8 seconds. Okay, on hit damage is 15 plus 20% AP to scaling to 20. Okay, that doesn't matter that much, I don't think. The AP scaling doesn't really change. So this is kind of like a side buff nerf. It's like kind of neutral in terms of the cooldown. It's better early, equal late. And the on-hit damage is worse early, but better late, but not much. I still don't see how this is a buff to her. This just seems like a nerf. Like, this is a nerf, this is a nerf, this is a nerf, this is a... Oh no, this is plus 10 damage. So this isn't even really a buff. This is a nerf. This is like barely neutral. And then our needlework. Damage per needle, 35 to 95 to 30 to 90. So this is down by 5 and the AP ratio is down. But the slow is up. Okay. I don't, like, this is just a nerf, right? Am I misinterpreting this? Her intention, abilities adjusted. Their intention is to keep her neutral. They want her to be a medium power, like, Fiora champion, but they nerfed her across the board, pretty much. I mean, maybe I'm misunderstanding, but like your passive damage is down, so you're not killing tanks as easily. Your passive damage is down a lot, and that's where a lot of your damage came from. You're going to be squishier because you have less health, and your W is going to be your W, which again, you only have 1 point in until level 13 or 14, is going to be down a lot. And then your E damage is up by 5. And yeah, this is like really nice for lane Gwen and jungle Gwen at level 4 or level 2 even, because your E cooldown will be shorter, right? Because you used to have 8 second or like maybe like 8.5 second E cooldown early game, and now you're gonna have 6 seconds, so you got 2 seconds back, but your damage is down. And so your damage is down on your E, your damage is down on your passive, your health is down, your Q damage is up by 10, your W tankiness is up a little bit early, and then your R damage is down a lot. All your AP ratios got hit. I'm interested, I don't know, she's gonna need buffs after this. This is not a neutral change. This is a nerf. There's no way this is a buff. Jungle Gwen will be worse, and top Gwen will be worse. I will not. I don't know. I'm not very interested in playing Gwen after these changes, personally. I mean, I'll still play her because I like her, but like, this isn't that good. Jarvan, this champion's OP. Jarvan has fallen. It's OP when I play it. Jarvan has fallen off in recent times in the jungle, which means he has room for some damage buffs that will allow him to carry a little harder and have more impact on skirmishes. We're buffering Q-based damage and scaling, as is one of his most reliable damage tools. It also tends to be more powerful at lower skill levels, which should prevent this. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Because I'm like, you know, this sentence is very important to me. Lower skill levels. This guy. Cool. Q. Damage 80 to 240 plus 140% to 90 to 250 plus 145%. This is nice. Right now, when I'm playing Jarvan, I'm going W level 2. I don't think this Q damage buff will make you reach a breakpoint that increases your jungle speed significantly that I would go Q level 2. Your E is powerful enough that you really don't need the ability. I'm happy to get Jarvan buffs. I love this champion. I love playing him, and when he's good, he's good. And when he's bad, he's bad. So, whatever. Jhin, passive scaling increase. Jhin is weaker than we'd like him to be, and he's become a bit more early game skewed over the years, which means he has room for mid and late game buffs. In this patch, we're looking to bring some powerful 2-item spike builds and generally improve Jhin's scaling. So his passive, bonus AD, 4 to 44%. I can't read all this. Essentially, it's buffing his bonus AD based on his crit strike a little bit more, and his attack speed a little bit more. Okay, whatever. I love Jhin. Good. He'll have more AD. Not a significant amount more, because it's going plus 2.25 for attack speed to 0.3, and 0.3 for crit to 0.35. So he'll probably end up with, like, you know, maybe, because like he gets like 400 AD on 2 items, maybe he'll end up with like 420. Blaze it, you know? Jinx, R damage decrease. Jinx is running wild at just about all ranks at the moment, so we need to take a bit of pep out of her step. Jinx's ultimate is a powerful tool at all stages of the game, regardless of the game state. So this patch we're aiming to pull down that all-around threat and retain its more situational burst damage at low health enemies. Cool. I do feel like I die to Jinx ult, like, in situations I definitely don't expect to. So this is nice. It's 25 damage off at all ranks and 10% bonus AD. Jinx is really annoying. I'm happy for this. Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is intended to be weak early in the game, but her current state is so weak there's not much reason to pick her over other ADCs. We're giving her some breathing room in lane by upping her armor and health regen. Wow, okay. So her armor's up 2. That does make a little bit of a difference. And her health regen is up 0.5, which I really don't think you'll notice in lane. It might, like, you know, in 1 minute's time, you will have gained an extra 30 HP, which I think extremely infrequently makes a difference in whether or not you live in a situation. So, whatever. And then her R cooldown's down 10 seconds to all ranks. This is nice. I think she's still going to be pretty weak. The armor is the best change here, and the R cooldown. The base health regen doesn't really matter. Very, very cool. Karma! Karma has quickly risen the ranks to become arguably the strongest mage enchantress support in the game, as she always has been. We're very happy that she's returned from the depths of non-viability, but she needs to perform a bit worse to give other supports a fighting chance. These nerfs will affect her most common Q max build by weakening her early laning phase, while also nerfing her sleeper OP E max build by being a more potent nerf at low ranks. Yes, yes. Karma has existed this way as long as I can remember. She is a lane bully who is hyper annoying. She pretty much has undodgeable poke unless the Karma sucks, and then I'm talking about with her empowered Q, and then you just take 1,000 damage, you can't dodge it, she goes Comet, and then late game she does her E shield and you just feel like you want to die. So 10 damage off her Q, whatever, it's something. It'll make a difference. Kha'Zix, this champion's not real. Kha'Zix isn't currently in the best shape, so we'll be buffing up his PvP power this patch, giving him more of a reason to play around both his passive and his leap by having both sting a bit more. So his passive damage is up 10% bonus AD, and this flat amount I don't think matters because I don't know how to calculate this because they don't show me the numbers, but it's up as well. And then E bonus scaling, this just kind of matters, but not really. I feel like extremely infrequently am I killing somebody based on the damage of my E. I feel like a lot of times somebody face checks me and I just auto attack Q them, and then either they're 50% health and dying, or they are still at 80% health and I'm pressing E to run away. So this might make a change early, but I don't know. Lilia is a bit weak right now, true. So she's due for some buffs to help her out. Swirl Seed's cooldown is a little too punishing for how liberally we think she should be able to bowl it down a lane and look for a strike. Haha. So we're bringing its cooldown down and its damage up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 2 seconds off Swirl Seed and its AP scaling's up. It's nice. The cooldown felt so long because a lot of times in the mid game when you're grouping, you're like, you farm your raptors, you float mid, you're playing around objectives, you're looking for E's, and like it feels bad because you throw an E and it misses and you're just sitting there like, okay, well, I hope they don't engage in the next 10 seconds because I need my E again. But like if you didn't throw the E in the first place, then they might engage, and like, you know, it's like awkward. So this is a nice buff. I like this. The damage I don't care about. It's nice, but what I care about is the cooldown. Lucian! Yay! Lucian's a touch underpowered in the current league landscape, so we'd like to give him a little more power, giving him some mobility that he can use aggressively in early laning and mid-game teamfighting, with the goal of making him succeed as a high-octane aggressive ADC who relies on quick decision-making. So his cooldown is down 3 seconds early. Wow! Very cool, Riot. I love Lucian so much. I love this champion. This is like probably my favorite ADC to play. Great. Love it. Master Yi, I hate this champion. Master Yi has several built-in on-demand defensive options, meaning the times where he's attackable, he should probably be more vulnerable at a base stat level. True, we're targeting his armor growth to make sure those periods of vulnerability are more clearly weak points for his opponents to go after him. Additionally, we're increasing the bonus crit damage ratio on Alpha Strike to allow crit Master Yi to be more viable for the crit Yi enjoyers. Okay, armor is down, crit damage up. Cool. I mean, he's squishier. I hate this champion. I hate, like, the people who play him are one tricks. They're annoying. They play like degenerates. They invade you level 2. Half of them invade you at level 2 with like Ignite, and half of them are just like power farming, annoying late game players. Whatever. I hate this champ. Naafiri. All right, this is a big one. Naafiri. Naafiri released as a simple to play mid lane assassin. Well, okay, before we get into this, Naafiri is an awesome champion in a failed champion design, okay? Naafiri is not popular, not fun to play, and not strong, okay? All three out of the park, okay? She is thematically very cool. The idea of being this like pack master dog, of like ravenously chasing you down, dashing at you with her W, whatever. It didn't work, okay? She essentially sat in lane and just got hard countered and lost, and it was miserable, and you never had enough damage, and somebody blocked your W and you wanted to die. Or she super duper hard countered your champion. I'm thinking like the Zoes of the world and other people who have like single target skill shots that our dogs just block, and the matchup was unplayable. So let's see what's going on here. Naafiri releases a simple to play mid lane assassin, but since then has struggled to find an audience. In retrospect, the target was not the ideal version of Naafiri, so we're going back to add some depth and outplay potential to her kit, while also opening her up to be played in the jungle as well. To do this, we're swapping her W and her R abilities. They've been adjusted to account for their new places in Naafiri's kit. In addition, casting Call of the Pack, which is her R, now makes Naafiri untargetable, which is crazy, making it useful as a situational damage ability or a tool to hold for outplay. And as a reminder, that's now her W. Her W is now this untargetable ability. Last note, given her pack-based theme, it felt like a good opportunity to bump up the presence of her dagger dogs. She'll passively get more of them running around with her as the game progresses, and Call of the Pack now provides a non-ultimate way to refresh her pack on demand. Okay, so this is an enormous change, and we'll read over the changes right after this, but 2 enormous quality of life buffs are coming on this patch, so spoilers for ultimate. One is that her W, which was her old ultimate, makes her untargetable now. So tower dives are crazy, fizzling abilities is crazy, right? You're dodging the blitz hooks, the thresh hooks, you're fizzling the Vagar ultimates and the Annie Qs, all those targeted abilities. Wow, auto attacks, everything. It's so good. Then her R, which is her old W, which is the dash, can't get blocked anymore. These quality of life changes are crazy. This is such a buff without even changing numbers, right? You don't change numbers, you don't have to do anything. I think this alone would be good for her. And also adjusting the cooldowns accordingly, because now your ultimate has to have a long, like, minute and a half cooldown, and the W has to have like a 20-second cooldown. But it's crazy. This is going to be really hard to balance. This is going to be super duper hard to balance. I think Naafiri is going to be powerful or like useless. And the reason I think this is because she's going to be a champion who either like super snowballs a lane and just can't get interacted with. Like think, not exactly like Fizz, but like, you know, champions like that where like this champion is approaching you. If this gets on your flank, you're like, what do I do? This champion is just pressing R on me, dashing to me, hitting all their abilities. And anytime anyone presses, like Nautilus presses R, no, oops, I pressed W, untargetable. Really interesting. Yeah, we'll see what they do with her numbers. So it's a lot, spoilers. Base stats, her health is down, her health growth is down, her armor growth is down, her base AD is up, and her AD growth is down. Okay, so stat nerf across the board. She is much squishier. She has 15 less health per level and 0.5 less armor per level. That is a big change. And let's see, passive, we are more. Max packmates now is 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you get more dogs. The packmate damage is accordingly down because you're going to have more dogs, right? At level 12, this is just a pure buff. You're going to have 3 dogs. So the damage is down. So weaker early so far. And then the packmate health growth is down and the armor is down and the reduced AoE damage is up. Interesting. I didn't even know that was a mechanic. And then the reduced damage from towers is up. Okay. So who's the real monster? Packmates now deal more damage to monsters, and Packmate taunt duration is down. I don't know what the Pac-Man taunt duration is. This is very interesting. I'm excited to try her out in the jungle. This is extremely unique. Wow. I'm sure there's going to be like videos of people going crazy on jungle camps. Like think like Yorick or Malzahar or Heimerdinger, or Zyra. These champions who are able to set up like crazy jungle clears due to their pets either tanking or doing damage in situations where you're running to the next camp already. I would love to see mechanics like that, and I think this champion is going to be super cool in the jungle. Again, I think the W change is crazy, but let's see what they do. So Q. Q is her like bread and butter ability that does damage. The damage to minions is up. This is a crazy change. So those of you who lane or play this mid lane at like any level will know that the number one most important thing for your champion to be able to do is push the wave and outpush the enemy. And getting 20% extra damage on your Q, having a 33% increase, is pretty nuts. Like, if this is a breakpoint where your Q just one-shots a wave, that's scary. That's really scary, right? Because, like, she fires it in a straight line. I don't know. That's nice. We'll see how. But that's a big buff. And then finally, her W. Lost in the pack. Naafiri and her teammates gain 1 second of untargetability on cast. Wow. I don't know what to say. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's so good. Bonus AD is now plus 20% AD instantly. Interesting. So this is a big nerf. This used to be your ultimate, so it makes sense. It makes sense that it's a nerf. You know, you used to get 13% AD at level 1 on her ultimate at level 6, and now it's just 20%. But at level 2, you got like a ton of, or no, it's more than 13% because this is scaling with level. So you would actually get almost 20%. You get like, what is this? 19% at level 6, and then more as you got higher, and now it's 20% all ranks. So this is it's a nerf to the ability, but correspondingly so for it being a normal ability. Her extra pack mates are down, again, normal. The buff duration is only 5 seconds, which is also normal. The movement speed is down a ton, but it's a longer duration, so it makes sense, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. And the cooldown obviously goes from ultimate cooldown status to normal cooldown status, which is 20 seconds, which is what I predicted. 20 seconds makes sense for an target invulnerability in Modern League. And its mana cost is 60, and they remove the Call of the Pack no longer grants Naafiri Shield, a Pulse of Vision, and will no longer reset the abilities buff on takedown. Pack-mates will no longer gain bonus health and cooldown. Okay, so it's a total rework. This is obviously an overall pretty steep nerf, but you get intargetability. So, I mean, it's a rework, obviously, so you expect a nerf for a basic ability. You can't have that on a basic ability. But untargetability will make an enormous difference. I think this ability is going to be broken because of this. When champions have these sorts of abilities, you think like Yone with his E snapback, or Ornn W, Fizz E was like an old version of it, but now you get like crazy versions of it, right? Cassante W, like these champions, you see these abilities and you're just like, God damn, like what do I do to this champ? Like this champ is just OP, right? Yeah, this is going to be crazy to balance. And then the R, which is now the W. So teaching old dog new tricks. If Naafiri scores a takedown within 7 seconds of pressing her R, which is like, again, it's her old W, so it makes the line on the target and dashes at them. She reveals nearby enemies and can recast this ability once. The second cast grants her a big shield. Okay, so it's now a reset ability. The cooldown is 2 minutes, almost, which is nice. The mana cost is up. The range is up. This is big. 900 range is pretty long. 900 range is pretty long. And then the damage is up a lot. Up a lot. So the base damage is up a lot. The bonus AD is up a lot. And per pack mate, which again, you're going to have a lot more pack mates now. You're going to have up to 7 pack mates now, based on what level you are. So that's pretty crazy. And this ability is no longer blockable. Huge. And it can't be cast on minions. So again, how I feel about Naafiri is if she just got the changes where, let's say they changed her ultimate into her W and gave it the untargetability and adjusted the damage and like cooldown accordingly. And then with her W, did the same thing with her ultimate where they just changed it to her ultimate and adjusted the damage and cooldown accordingly. And then gave it the quality of life buffs where her new R can't be blocked and her W gives untargetability. I think that would be a good change. But not only did they do that, they gave it a reset. They buffed her Q, they buffed her passive, and they gave her damage to monsters. So I think this champion's going to be really good, but she's notably squishier. Her health growth is down significantly, 15 per level, and her armor is down. So this champion's going to be doing a lot more damage. This champion's going to be a lot more slippery, and it's going to be a lot more reliable. Be prepared for that. All right, let's continue. Poppy, Q damage to monsters increased. What? Poppy's received a lot of changes recently, and while her top and support are both in acceptable states, her ability to jungle has suffered. This patch we're looking to give her some specific jungle power without affecting her much in the other roles. So her capped monster health damage is up by 25 at level 1, and the maximum health damage is up by 25. Wow. I love playing Poppy jungle. This buff is for me. Thank you, Riot. I deserve this. Thank you. Great. I love playing Poppy. Singed. Singed has historically struggled to farm against not only another champion in his lane, but also against his own allied minions. With the recent increase to minion damage, this has only become more punishing, and we've determined that there is too much variance in last hitting in lanes against factors outside of Singed players' control for it to be worth preserving this skill test for Singed. As such, we're slightly nerfing Singed scaling and then making it much more feasible for him to last hit minions in lane, taking away some power Singed was getting for free before and giving players gold instead to allow them to buy whatever stats and effects they wanted instead. So his basic attack speed is up. This is very, very, very big quality of life buff. Do not underestimate how powerful attack speed buffs are. This makes your champion much stronger level 1, and this makes your champion, and all champions who go abilities like Conqueror and things like that, extremely strong because they're attacking much faster and they're stacking Conqueror faster and they're doing more damage more frequently faster. Big change. This big buff for Singed. Q. If a minion would die to another minion while affected by poison trail, Singed gets the kill credit instead. This is an enormous quality of life buff. This is a crazy quality of life buff. They're crazy. This is so good. And then E Fling. Damage from 50 to 90 plus max health to 50 to 90 plus max health, down 5% AP. Wow. So, wow. He's getting 5% AP nerf on his E in exchange for an enormous quality of life buff, which is huge. Every Singed player in the world has lost minions to their poison not ticking properly. So this is enormous. And then on top of that, this is a huge buff. This is the equivalent to gaining 12% attack speed at level 1. That's a dagger. Like, this is great. Singed is gonna go crazy. I don't think he's gonna be OP. I don't think Singed really has been OP in so long, but this is great. Singed players rejoice. Smolder. I mean, before I read this, if this better be a line, I want this paragraph to say, we realized we missed the mark on designing this champion, and we are unreleasing it from the game. Oh. Smolder's been the opposite of On Fire recently, which is ironic given his name. So we're looking to buff up the areas that aren't hitting the bar we'd like releasing him? His W is below the bar for last hitting early game. His E bolts aren't worth using offensively, and now that his R doesn't cook waves, it doesn't need to have a long cooldown throughout the game. Altogether, these should light a fire within our favorite. Whose favorite? Little Dragon. He's not my favorite Little Dragon. That's in the drawer in my bedroom. Hello? And get him back on track to receive some head pass from Mommy Smolder. Alright. W. Achoo! Alright, so the damage for his W is... It's down. Wait. That's good. Oh no, it's up early. It's up early a lot. Oh god. And then the explosion damage is down, but up. Alright, I assume this is a buff. I hate this champion. E flap, flap, flap. The damage is up. I hate this champion. R, cooldown scales now. I hate this champion. Riot, just admit you messed up with this champion. Come on. I hate champions whose trade pattern makes them scale. Okay? I think that's such bad design. I think that's such bad design. And the only time it's ever been designed well is like Vhagar. Because you know what? Vhagar is extremely immobile, extremely squishy, and his damage is conditional. Senna, Smolder, those champions' damage isn't conditional. They are doing damage always, and providing utility, and they're hard to get on. No, I hate these champs. All right, Twisted Fate. We're giving Twisted Fate a bit of juice as he's been bricking for a long time now. Same. Since he's such an attack-heavy champion, even for a mage, he has no choice but to draw minion aggro pretty consistently. We'd like him to be able to play out those trades more favorably on his terms, so we're giving him a little armor early to brave the minions. Base armor up by 3. This is great. This is great. Cool. I like when Twisted Fate is on my team. I think this champion's cool, and he's gay, and gay champions deserve buffs. You know what? No, actually, I rescind that statement. We don't need buffs, okay? Don't buff Cassante. Don't do it. Xin Zhao, Q damage increase. This is for me, because I suck at this champion. Xin Zhao hasn't been keeping up with other junglers, making him less appealing to other AD fighters, so we're giving him a small boost to get him back in the game. So bonus damage from your Q is up by 4. By 4, 6, 8, 12, something late game. Cool. Nice. This isn't that much damage. I don't think it'll make a difference. Getting the extra 12 damage when you Q someone 3 times isn't going to make a difference, but maybe it'll help you clear. Yorick, this champion's OP. Yorick is currently overperforming in the jungle and putting camps and enemies into his grave, so we're pulling one of his jungle damage levers in order to bring him more in line with other junglers, so his cap damage is from 300 to... Yes. Go to hell, Yorick. See you in hell. No longer am I going to see disgusting Yorick soloing Herald while they're farming top or doing the grubs or stealing a camp. No. Bye, Yorick. You won't be missed. Thank God. Items. Serelda's Grudge. Serelda's is being adjusted. What? Serelda's is being adjusted this patch to better match assassins by being pushed towards armor penetration and away from ability haste. This isn't meant to be a very large buff, but should feel better to use for most assassins. Okay, yeah, I agree. I think this armor pen item that assassins build should be giving armor pen. Cool. Warmogs. Warmogs has a pretty significant power shift moving into the season, and unfortunately it ended up on the weaker side. This patch we're buffing up the capstone effect to make sure this item stays in a later in the game purchase on most champions and lowering the gold cost now that it has less danger of being poached by supports. Cool, so gold cost down to 100, and it's now gain bonus health equal to 10% to gain bonus health equal to 12%. Cool. I don't know if you all remember the era of Warmog support. Yeah, I was homophobic for a little during that era. Oh, that's it. Cool. Systems. Anti-lane swaps. They're adjusting this. I never noticed this. Cool. Bounties. We're taking another big swing of a tuning pass on champion bounty suppression. Okay. Bounties are disgusting. I hate bounties. I think bounties are a really poorly designed system, and how I would like to see bounties changed is if you die, your gold gets evenly distributed to everyone on the enemy team, okay? What I hate seeing is when I'm 10-0 on the jungle, and the enemy has a 10-0 ADC, right? My bot lane is 0-10, and their top lane is 0-10, okay? And then we clash, and the ADC kills me. Their 10-0 ADC gets 1,000 gold for killing me. I don't like that. Make it so the bounty gold gets distributed to the team like killing a tower, okay? I don't like it. I don't like bounties. I think it's poorly designed. I don't think the gold value is poorly designed. I think it's ridiculous for a champion who is not behind to get the 1,000 gold shutdown and turbo accelerate them ahead. That needs to change. We're taking another big swing of a tuning pass on champion bounty suppression. First, we're decoupling the time it can turn on from the objective bounty system in the back end, so now we can start suppressing champion bounties whenever we want. Cool. We're choosing 6 minutes for this first version, which should give some time for 1v1 laning comebacks, while still turning on in time for early to mid-game teamfights. Second, we're more than doubling the suppression strength. Suppression will begin even under very small team deficits and quickly crush all champion bounties for the losing team. Okay, So gold lead detection time is 6 minutes. Okay. And bounty suppression by lead severity. Wow. I don't know what this means, but sure. I really don't know how to interpret this. Like, what? Like, what are these thresholds? Like, these are not communicated to me. I don't know how the speed, like, what are these units? These are percentages, but like they're 30% of what? Like you have a 30% lead? You have 130% of the enemy's gold? What is the gold lead detection? Like, I don't understand. This is unclear to me. But if it's nerfing bounties, I'm happy, so whatever. Otacon. We overshot with the tower dive adjustments to Otacon's form selection, so this patch we're readjusting the calculation so Voracious can actually exist in games for solo queue players. Okay, cool. They're adjusting it by some number that doesn't mean anything to me. Arena is fun, but I don't really care. Mythic Shop update. This patch we're introducing a new iteration of the Mythic Shop that'll change how we do rotations going forward. Okay. We have a blog out that I won't be reading with all the details because I don't want to spend money. The new version of the shop will go live. Cool. Going forward, the shop will randomly select content from the list of available items for each respective category, and each category will have its own associated timer. Once that timer expires, new content will be randomly selected. It'll look like this. Okay, so they're just doing what Fortnite and Valorant and all these other games do by having it be a rotating selection so that they can get you to buy stuff more frequently. Yeah, makes sense. This will allow content to cycle quicker so you can spend more money and give you more chances to get that one skin that you've been waiting for so you can spend more money. You should also see more offerings for chromas so you can spend more money, icons so you can spend more money, wards so you can spend more money, and emotes so you can spend more money. Previously, you would only see 8 accessories to spend money on in the shop during a patch. Now you'll be able to see up to 56 different accessories to spend money on in the patch in the same amount of time. The trade-off here is that we can't tell you specifically what's coming, so you're going to have to always pay attention to spend money, because we don't know either, so you're going to have to spend money more frequently. And we'll still be monitoring the catalog and making sure things are rotating through, so you could make sure you're spending more money. And we're also looking to experiment with the volume and frequency of these changes, so let us know what you think about these updates and spend more money. Wow! Thank you so much for this Mythic Shop update. I'll be sure to spend more money. The Sanctum. With the delay of Mordekaiser, we're going to be extending Quantum Zed's banner. They even call it a banner. Like, they're so unashamed. Prestige Battle Academia Kiana. Oh, period. While testing and preparing, this is something to spend money on. While testing and preparing the new shop, we discovered a bug where the Prestige Battle Academia Kiana listing wasn't properly granting her icon border. We weren't able to get this fixed. So for a moment, if you purchase her, she will come without the icon border, and we'll be retroactively granting this for players at a later date. Okay, I'm glad they announced that. Like, is it so hard to communicate? Like, isn't this so easy to do? Like, isn't this so easy to do? Thank you. Like, how hard was it to communicate? Why did they not tell us they were removing Hextech chests and 8,000 other things? Like, oh my god, it is so easy to just say, hey, this isn't working, we're changing it. Don't worry. Oh my god, like, oh my god, I feel like I'm actually being treated like an adult. Black Rose Beats. The Black Rose... What? Brand new spawn in... What? What? Black Rose arrives in Summoner's Rift this patch, and with them some music changes. Oh! Brand new spawn in music. Cool! And an additional layer of the Black Rose female choir will be... Oh! I'm turning on my music. Bug fixes, I don't care. The whole game is bugged. And upcoming skins, we have Battle Academia Kane, Rakan, Zaya, and Kiana. Let's check these out. Alright, so starting out, we have Battle Academia Kane. This skin slays. I don't really like that they're bringing back Battle Academia, but I think the skin is cool. It's not super duper unique, but it's fantastic, and thankfully I will never see this because Kane has been banned in every game that I've played in the last 7 years. So that's totally okay with me. Cool skin though. Next we have Zaya and Rakan. I am not impressed by these skins. I will wait to see them in game, but this splash is not it for me. I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. I don't really get it. But yay! And finally, we have the Kiana skin. I mean, come on. Give me to me. Show me to me. Please, Kiana. Can I be your friend? I want to sit at your table. Please. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Meow, meow. I'll be your kitten. I'll do anything for you. Please, just tell me what to do. Oh, I love her. This skin is so good. Wow. And it says Kiki on her bike, please. It's too much. No, this skin is so good. Everything about this skin is good. The tie, the hair, the tiara, the nails, the bike, the skirt, the thigh highs, the boots. Like, oh my god, everything is just so good about the skin. Although, no, never mind, I take it back. Everything is so good about the skin. Wow. It's crazy. Good job, Riot. My overall feelings on this patch are... Let's look at this. Okay, so I think that Naafiri Change is totally busted. I'm definitely going to be playing her. Bounty Change is alright. I don't really know what's going to happen, but I'm happy. Lane swaps and Otacon I don't care about. Serelda's fine. Warmog's fine. I think Caitlyn getting nerfed is good. I hate her. Corki getting nerfed is justified. Darius getting nerfed is justified. The Draven change isn't a real change. The Ezreal change kind of sucks, but whatever. Garen change is good. Yorick change is great. Karma change is great. And Jinx change is great. I think the Jarvan buff is also nice on the Q. The Jhin 80 scaling is not really going to be noticeable. The Kai'Sa extra tankiness in the cooldown on her R will be nice. The Kha'Zix change to his E, I guess, will be nice. Like the damage on his E, but the passive damage will be better. Lilia E cooldown reduced is so good. And then the Lucian E change is so good. Yes, Poppy doing better in the jungle. We love to see it. Smolder getting buffed. We hate to see it. Twisted Fate getting some armor, which won't really matter. And Xin Zhao having Q'd 4 damage on his Q. Well, maybe it'll matter. I don't think it'll matter. And then Fiora got a mana change on her Q, which will be good. It'll be fine. Gwen adjusted is a fun way of saying she got super nerfed. Expect to see buffs for her in the future. Master Yi, I hate this champion. I don't want to talk about it. Naafiri again is OP. And the Singe change is really just a buff. You took 5%. His AP ratio on his E went from 65% to 60%, which is, what, less than a 10% change? And it is in exchange for a 12% attack speed buff across the board and a huge quality of life on your Q, which is such a good change. I would absolutely take this change for that nerf 1,000 times out of 1,000. So Singe players, eat up.